when I started when I started changing my food, I could see a lot of changes happening in me, which was my health, internal health, you can say. One is external, which you see in form of weight loss, and second is you start healing from inside and without taking any medicines. So that healing process, of course, takes time, but then it was happening. And when this happened, I started, reading more about it and for understanding more about it. So now I'm like a holistic nutritionist, or you can call me a health coach, because I do these personal counseling with the individuals. I do corporate sessions, and of course, I go live on my Facebook page and let people know, and give information about how food impacts you. And that's actually the 70% of it. And then comes the 20%, which is your exercise. And then the most subtlest is your mind, which you can once you conquer, or once you start understanding the first two aspects, you'll start working on the third aspect, which is your mind. So then you start realizing that how food, how your body movement or exercise actually helps you to calm your mind. So it's not just the meditation that, day one you sit for meditation and you will feel that, okay, everything is nice. It's just the start. But if you don't change your food, all the emotions would not go. And it is very important for that to happen, for everything to become calm and peaceful. And again, if nothing happens in a day. So, if somebody is saying that, okay, lose weight in 10 days, for me it never worked. So for me, it's something which is like a sustainable lifestyle, and that's how I live now. And what I'm eating, how I'm living my life is very conscious, but that doesn't mean that I'm depriving myself. So my whole uh, taste, or you can say the lifestyle, or the way I live and the habits, everything has changed, and they have changed in a very beautiful way. Like, I don't feel deprived of eating certain food. I in fact make better and tastier food, which I can enjoy along with my family. And the most beautiful part as a mother is that when I see my daughter growing without asking for junk food, or without fighting for these kind of things, like she wants junk, or she's too much into TV and all that. It really makes me feel good that I'm putting the right step in my journey of motherhood. So these are the things which give you immense satisfaction, and that's what I keep doing. So yeah, that's pretty much about me and KukClean, and that's how I started my venture. And yeah, you can now start asking me questions, maybe specific one, and I'll help you out with that. And I do hold hand of people who need these things. So again, when I talk about the program which I do, it's not just the nutritional knowledge which I share. I actually share all those practical things which I have experienced. Like, for me, meditation is not sitting at one place and just trying to close the eyes and meditating in one position, but maybe cleaning my kitchen or cleaning my refrigerator when the whole house is sleeping, and is meditative for me, because that actually helps you to calm your mind. You're also doing some work. And then you try to sort out each and every problem in your life. So that's how I look at meditation. For me, exercise again is not spending time in gym. For me, exercise would be walking in fresh air, getting, whenever I like playing with my daughter in evening, or just chit chatting with my friends, and then I'm walking. And sometimes yoga, and sometimes just strength exercise. So I think I lost all my weight without going to gym. So I've never been to gym, so because I just don't like going there. I would rather walk in outside in the park. It has more fresh air, and sunlight is there. Because it's not just about food. There are actually five elements in nature, and that's what we are made of. One is sun, one is air, water, and your earth, which means your food, and ether. Ether means space, so you create space in your body, which is basically doing fasting. So all these elements, when I included them, I could see the result in myself. And it's not just the physical result, or not just the not just the basically like following one pattern, but you have to include all of this and walk slowly. You can't achieve everything in one day because it might become overwhelming. So try to get one by one, and it becomes a habit. So now I have questions I'll start taking. um, uh, so, okay, on this and help us to eat better. Are you on Instagram? Yes, we are on Instagram. You can follow me. Let me just share my ID and I'll answer all the things with you one by one. So, yeah, this is my Instagram handle. You can actually follow both of my handle. One is personal, one is KukClean. So, I'll share the profile with you. Let me just complete this. Yeah. So,
I am following her on her Facebook page. Really good. She puts
so
videos and very informative videos. So
thank you.
that's
So
where
this
I
is,
found
let
her.
me just share all the things which you guys can join. So this one is the Facebook page, and then we have a group also which all of you can join, because a lot of people are sharing their recipes and their thought process. So it gives you an idea of how to move in that direction. And then I said, like, when somebody really needs a specific problem, who tries to solve that specific problem, then I do all the personal counseling. So right now I have clients from UK and US who are taking my guidance. Again, it's not just the nutritional knowledge, because that's available on internet. It involves a lot of practical things which I have experienced, and that's what I want to share, because that's what will help you in day to day life. So yeah, this is my Instagram handle. And then I agree, food and anxiety are related. I feel my mind works in a negative direction after I eat certain kind of food, like MSG, soya sauce and all. Yes, end of the day, these food are, there's the reason that they are called as additives, and they are not grown on plants. So if they are not growing on plants, that means they are manufactured in plant. And if you're eating, they were never meant for your body, so they will create some problem or the other. We might not be able to see it in day one, but over the period of time, all these things reflect in your mind, in your body. And in the most important thing with us women is it just reflects in our, it gives us hormonal imbalance. So all these things slowly have to get out of your kitchen and start making beautiful changes, because it's not really difficult. So can I live without soya sauce? Of course I can live without soya sauce. I would rather make a normal, in fact somehow now I just don't enjoy even noodles, so there's so much better food to taste. So I just don't even make that. There's a replacement for soya sauce, this liquid aminos, which is available in US and UK, and I think it's available in India also, but somehow there's so much plenty of food which I relish, so I have not even brought that. So okay, so how many meals in a day should one plan? Smaller, 4 to 6, three usual: breakfast, lunch and dinner. See, completely depends on person to person, and that's why there are so many concepts that somebody will say eat 4 to 6 meals, small meals, or someone will say eat large big meals, 3 meals. And there are people who are just living on 2 meals. So if you look at our Indian culture, just remember our old grannies, how they used to eat food, and how things were beautifully structured in Indian culture. By the time our grannies used to finish all household work, considering there was no washing machine, no dishwasher, no maid, and no cooked food, or the pre-prepped food, or the ready to eat food, everything was made fresh. By the time they would do all the work, it was already 11 o'clock or 10:30 something. That's when they used to take the first meal of the day. And after that, when they used to take the first meal of the day, the second meal used to be around 5:36, because that's when the chulha, or those wooden thing used to work. There was no gas. So effectively there were only 2 meals a day which people were eating that time. And that is what now we call as intermittent fasting. Now we are forcing ourselves to do that, but that time the intermittent fasting was part of the culture. If you look at Kerala, the fishermen who leave the house early morning at 4 o'clock, they don't eat anything. They just leave the house, and on their boat, I think around 11 o'clock is when they eat their food, and their food is nothing but the mata rice, which is so heavy, and it can last for till 6 o'clock or 4 o'clock when they are returning back. So when they come back home, that's their second meal, and that's it. That's how they are living their life. So there are people who are enjoying 2 meals, and there are people who are enjoying 3 meals, then 4 to 6 meals. It completely depends on your body. Like if I take my example, my first meal is basically mostly fruits or the smoothies, because the kind of life which we are living, we are not doing so much physical work. Like we are not actually in the field. So if we keep eating grains every now and then, grain usually take around 6 to 8 hours to digest. So if your first meal is suppose dosa or cereals or something, then it is taking six hours to digest, and by the time you eat lunch and then again you eat dinner, so the digestion is actually not happening, and that's the reason we feel all the gut issues are coming. So uh, if you can if and every time when we keep doing like this over the years, then the digestion actually goes for a toss, and that's when we get into all these problems. So I personally stick to 2 grain meals and 1 fruit meal, and that works perfectly fine for me. If your lifestyle is not that heavy, which means you are not really running and there's not much physical activity, you can try doing this, and you'll feel your bloating and all that will go, because the first meal, which is fruit meal, is actually giving you all the vitamin and nutrients and minerals needed for the other 2 meals to get digested. So with that knowledge, that's how I have planned my meals, and that's how I tell my clients, because they are actually not doing any physical activity as such, except the 1 hour of gym. That too also, it's not regular. One day you will do, another day there's an excuse, and you will you'll not do it. So okay, so the next question is how to ensure you get right amount of vitamin and other supplements without having to take a pill, such as bone health, to follow up, especially in for vegetarian and vegan diets. Okay, so vitamin and minerals, both of them are in abundance in your fruits and green vegetables and any kind of vegetables for that matter. So if you are taking your fruits and vegetables in a good quantity, that's the reason that my first meal is actually a fruit meal, because then it's a meal. I'm not eating one apple or just one banana. Maybe I'll eat 3 banana a day. Or when I'm making the smoothie, then then what happens that it helps me to takes 4 hours of time to digest, and by that time I'm ready for the second meal, and it's providing me enough nutrient, vitamin and mineral for the other 2 meals to get digested. And to follow especially vegan and vegetarian lifestyle, yes, so I am right now, I was a vegetarian, converted into vegan, and now I'm a vegan. So what I feel, number one, of course my energy levels have gone high, and as compared to what I was in 20s, and my weight, my skin, everything really has changed in a very beautiful and good way. And what else? So I don't take any supplement for these vitamins and mineral, except there is one vitamin which is not present in plants, which is B12. So now there are various theories on B12, which we can discuss after we finish this session. So that's the supplement which is not, that's the vitamin which is not present in plant. So that is the reason for that you can take supplement. But for rest of everything, like all your vitamin B complex, all your minerals, calcium and phosphorus, magnesium, magnesium, everything is in plants. Your greens and your fruits, all the vegetables, if you're consuming in good quantity, they will provide you. Then if you're worried about like proteins, carbs and fats, they are again present in all the grains. So there is no necessity which says that if I'm not eating non-veg, or if I'm not eating, I'm not following a non-vegetarian diet, then I will not get my protein. So everything is possible. Everything is available in plants. Just imagine how a cow or a bull or a bear, they get protein from. So of course from their grass and the things they are eating. So we can also get from there. And if I want small frequent meals, what to do? I'm a diabetic, I'm a vegetarian as well. Okay, so I'm treating my diabetic patient for and I'm putting them on 3 meals, which is again the meal I am following, because if you're eating too many times, you are again pushing your insulin to go up and high up every time when you eat a meal. So there again, the first meal is fruit meal, second meal is usually salad, and then the third meal is usually a millet. Now it's not always salad, because people moment they hear salad, they just imagine greens and they run away. So it's basically a mix of things. Some days there will be khichdi, some days there will be roti, and yeah, you can eat roti also when you are diabetic, as well as you can eat rice. So only thing is you start changing the way that roti and rice is. So being diabetic, and then they are reversing their diabetes. So food diabetes is a chronic disease, which means that that has been not because of our genes, but because of the lifestyle which we have been living. And so, if you change your lifestyle, you can actually reverse your diabetes. So, one very beautiful story was that one of my client was diabetic, and within 17 days, she just reversed it. So, by just following this whole food plant based lifestyle. And then I'm working on another person, her level used to be around 600, 700. Now it's coming down to 200 and 150. Hopefully in another 1 month she would be able to reverse. And now when people, what they think that when you are reversing your diabetes and this is the lifestyle I have to follow, that means I will be deprived of food. Whereas what I do is tell them about all the good food, and then you change it so beautifully that you really don't crave for other foods, because then you know that this food is not good for you, and there are so many options for you. So because of that you don't want to go back. So that really helps them. So if I'll again read your question. If I want small frequent meals, now for you, frequent meal, the first meal can be fruits, good amount of fruits. Absolutely no problem that you're eating fruit so it has fructose, so my level will rise. If you're eating whole fruit, not those canned juices which come, that spike would not happen. Second, maybe your second meal can be around, which is your lunch, around 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. You can have normal millets khichdi, a roti which should be little bit, which should have some greens in it, lot of green vegetable, lot of dal and stuff like that. And then evening again you can have similar thing. Then slowly, this is the first week how I work with them, because I just don't want to put them on salad. Then second week is when I introduce them to salad. Then third week I help them to go on fasting. So this way body starts healing itself and it starts reversing itself. So when it reverses, slowly changes happen. Now around snack time, I would again suggest them to have 1 or 2 soaked almonds, or a simple herbal tea which doesn't have tea leaves nor milk, a simple herbal tea. So this way you will be slowly changing your body's composition, the way it reacts to your this situation, the chronic illness, and finally you can actually reverse it. So, should we be focusing on the number of protein, calcium we should consume every day, or just focus on good balanced food? So, Cook Clean as such does not believe in calorie counting concept or theory, because when Mother Nature made food, it never counted the calories, nor it expects you to eat like that. You should be focusing on the good balanced food which provides you nutrient for your body. Let's take, there is an apple which has 100 calories, and there's a chips packet which again has 100 calorie. Now if you count them, both of them are equal, and if you follow this calorie concept, then you can eat chips also, but then this apple has all the nutrient that your body needs. So counting these number of proteins, number of calcium, first tell me one thing, is it really possible for you to count the calcium of each Indian meal which you make? And because moment you put little bit of hing extra, little bit of jeera extra, the whole composition actually changes. So it is really not possible for you to count every single meal. So the best way to keep your mind calm and to enjoy the good food is to follow simple rules of life, that I will be eating more fruits and vegetables. I will be consuming grains which are whole and not unprocessed. When I say unprocessed, a potato with a peel is much better than your potato chips. Uh, Roti is much better than that white bread which is coming, or you make your whole bread or that whole wheat bread which comes. Then again, your white sugar, say, is much better, this jaggery or molasses, or the dates, they are much better. So the more you come closer to nature, your nutrient requirement would be fulfilled. When mother nature made any fruit, it never made for protein, we tagged it. For example, let's take which is the richest food in proteins. Now, when we talk about non-veg, and it has been marketed that the food, we are eating meat because we need proteins, but the fact is that it also comes with a lot of saturated fat that was never promoted, and that saturated fat actually goes and sits in on your arteries wall, causing a lot of blockage and finally heart attack and problems like that. So saturated fat was never promoted. So that's the reason, please eat food as a whole, appreciate what mother nature has given you, rather than counting these calories and calcium and protein. If you're eating food as a whole food, all these nutrients would be present. So let's take our dal chawal. Okay, the most beautiful thing in Indian cuisine is this dal chawal. Now, dal has one type of amino acid which is missing. Now, amino acids are nothing but a kind of protein which which no, sorry, amino acids are the building blocks of the protein. They are just 20 amino acids, out of which 9 are not created in the body. Now, what happens? Dal doesn't have one amino acid, whereas rice doesn't have one amino acid. But when we combine both of them, all the amino acids in that meal are present together. And when you consume it, you get all the essential amino acid which you need in that meal. So, Mother Nature has actually designed things very, very beautifully. We just have to start understanding and appreciating it, and things will be really nice. So, focus on a good, balanced meal rather than counting calories, because it is not practical. Let's be honest with that, because every time there are so many calculators, but trust me, I'm feeding my daughter every single day. She is growing as a mother. Even I am worried about calcium and all that. But then, end of the day, I know that if I'm eating, giving her these kind of food, I don't have to worry about how much calcium is going or how much protein is going. So now there is one more question too. What is the negative impact of milk product, as vegetarians mostly rely on milk protein? Yes, vegetarians mostly rely on milk for protein as well as calcium. The unfortunate part about milk products now is that all the cows, especially in US and now even in India, because of the dairy industry, none of us have cows in back of our house, and we are treating them with all that what to say, as a gratitude or appreciation, like it used to be in our granny's time. There used to be only one or two cows who were reared only for the family's food, and it was not for the commercial purpose. So the cows were also treated as a part of family, and when you treat somebody as a part of family, you respect that person, and you will not harm that person. Now what happens is, we are putting injections, we are putting antibodies because they should not fall sick. All that goes in the milk, and that's what we are consuming. And that's why people who are high on milk, it doesn't guarantee that they'll not get bone fracture, or they'll not have bone issues or osteoporosis. So these are the problems which are coming because of the commercialization of milk. And you would have, in US, I stayed there for 2 years, and we never used to get something from, like, directly from a cow. You get it in a 5-gallon can. So how is that 5-gallon can surviving on that shelf and then in your refrigerator for such a long time? If it is a food, it should get wasted, right? Like in India, if you go, I remember back in my childhood days, there used to be one this milkman who used to come, and he used to take out the milk in front of us and give. Now, if I keep that milk outside, within 24 hours it used to go waste. Whereas that doesn't happen in the milk which is being given in those gallons. And you turn, I think, the pack also, there will be so many preservatives and additives. So what will be the impact of all that is what you have to think about. So I leave this question to you guys to think about, all the additives and preservatives which are present in that milk. And there are a lot of antibodies and hormones given to the cows to produce more milk. Another beautiful example of women, uh, when do we give, when we have a milk production, when we have a child. So after that, that's how the nature is, and then it stops because the requirement for the kid is over. So how are cows generating so much of milk for everybody around the world? And constantly they are doing that, and when you don't use them, you just cut them and make them as a beef and eat it. So is it really human practice to do that, is what you have to think. And when it comes to protein, all the grains, cereals, dals, pulses, everything has protein in a very good quantity. All you have to do is just mix and match in such a way that you're consuming it. So don't rely only on milk. If you eat your dry fruits or like the nuts and seeds, they are rich in protein. So you can get, you just directly consume them, consume it directly instead of even making milk. You actually don't need milk. But yeah, because we are so habituated of drinking tea and coffee, that's the reason that we want milk. So you can make a plant based milk. So I don't drink milk from, I think, almost 6 years now, and I'm perfectly fine. So, can you tell more about the reversal diabetic? Do you have a book or article on it? So, I don't have a book, and and also article. I can write, but I don't write article on that because every person is different when it comes to diabetes. Somebody is pre-diabetic, somebody has diabetes around like some 10 years back, somebody is just starting. So every person is different, and that's why more than just the food, it's actually the emotions which are playing in these chronic diseases, and that has to be pulled out. So that's what I do in all these sessions. Like, I sit with the person, make that person understand why it's happening, try to analyze it, and that's how I help that person to reverse. So reversal of diabetes, it's absolutely possible. Prevention of diabetes is possible. And it's because you got the diabetes because of the lifestyle which you have been living, because of the food that you have been eating. And especially nowadays people are type 2 diabetic, so this is completely because of the lifestyle. So you start changing your lifestyle, your parameters will start changing immediately. They show, like, people have shown results in 21 days. Now it completely depends on person to person that how much time that person can take and reverse it. So but yeah, that's how it works actually. So which food aggravates, moving to next question, which food aggravate gut problem and bloating? What can we do to help it? So, gut problem, why it happens? Simply because in our colon, we have something called as friendly gut bacteria. Now, over the years, we have been eating all this kind of junk food, the food which was not meant for our body, food which has a lot of additives and preservatives, and a lot of meat and lot of, this milk and paneer and all this. Now, this gut bacteria are dying in our body because we are not helping them to thrive. Now, how can you thrive that gut bacteria? By adding probiotics and prebiotics. Now, is probiotic only in curd? The answer is no. Any grain, if you keep it for fermenting, like you make a milk out of it, nicely boil it, and you make a milk out of it and leave it outside, the bacteria come from outside. So that's how the curd is formed. So anything like peanut curd we form like that, and then cashew curd is formed like that, almond curd is formed. In fact, any plant based milk can be converted into curd. And people who are from Karnataka, they would know there's something called as ragi kanji. So that is again fermented food. So fermented food actually provides you that bacteria, and when it enters your body, it helps you to thrive back those dead gut bacteria. Whereas when you are eating too much of saturated fat or too much of, like, I will not say it's saturated fat, basically let's understand you're adding food, eating food which has too many additives, preservatives, and yeah, of course, saturated fat and stuff like that, then your gut bacteria slowly start dying. And when they die, all these gut problems start coming out. And how we can cure this is, number one, you have to take step by step. Like fiber is the best solution, but if somebody is taking fiber immediately, that person might get even bloated even more. So I'm just right now I'm curing somebody's gastritis, which is, I think, some 10 years back she has got that problem. But slowly it's reversing because the quantity of greens, fruits, vegetables, everything is slowly increasing. And I'm like slowly increasing that, because if I just tell that today you eat all the greens and everything raw, it will not take it. Why? Because, and that's why most of the people who are, who eat sprouts, they say that they can't digest sprouts. It's because there is no gut bacteria in your in your colon to digest that sprout. So that's the reason that people cannot digest, and they feel bloated and gassy, and then they burp so much. So it has to slowly change again. Everything is a slow process. You cannot expect, because you have already spoiled the body so much, that you cannot expect it to change within a day. You will have to give some time. So starting from small amount of fruits and vegetables, unprocessed grains, and dals, and slowly increasing the quantity will help your gut bacteria to thrive back. And finally you can, solve your problem. Another problem is, which is again mind, which we generally don't realize. Mind and, like, your brain and the gut, they are interconnected. In fact, gut is called as the second brain of human being, and any emotion which rises here first will affect your gut. So if you are not able to manage your so-called stress, or all the anxiety problems which you are having, and emotions, it will just hit your gut. So you have to work on both the things, and that's how you can solve your problem. How to contact you? Well, this is my 980650049. This is my WhatsApp number. You can contact me, and all the social media links which are there. You can always follow me. You can ask me questions. I'm always available. So, yeah. Now I'll take the next question. We know fried food is not good, but still there are times we all crave for it. Does clean eating include fried food? So clean eating doesn't include fried food, but yeah, we eat bhajis, and we eat murku, and we eat chips, and we eat everything. It's just that how you cook it is changed. Like using an air fryer is a good idea, or using an oven is a good idea. Or let's take, when I make this baigan bhaja, which is basically, let me, in fact, while I'm talking, let me share few screens also with you, which will give you the interest that what I cook. So yeah, 1 second. So So I feel my food really looks nice. And I enjoy it. So, it's not like I'm depriving myself. And yeah, so this is the slides which I show to my client, make them understand. And I do eat a lot of, like, you can see my plate. So this is the sabudana vada, which I have made, and they are really tasty. Only difference is you would make a vada in a kadhai with lot of oil, and this I have made in appe pan with just one drop of oil put in the cavities, and then you roll it, steam it, and it comes out nicely. You will not be able to make a difference. Like when you make a dal, you really don't need oil in it. And you wanted to know about bhajis, right? I have somewhere a picture, so I'll show the snacks, in fact. So this is peanut butter, which I eat, then sprout bale, sesame laddu. So all these are basically, is what I enjoy eating. So there's different kind of food which I make, and they are really delicious. Let me just open that, because I know most of the time we are scared because we don't want to leave that food, and we feel that when everybody else is eating, we will be deprived of that. Whereas if you start making slow changes, you can actually change the people around you. And that's how I have made these beautiful changes. And eating out, traveling, everything gets sorted. So let me just share. Yeah, see, now this is all I eat. All these pictures are basically from my kitchen. So yeah, I do eat lauki kofta, which is not fried or like deep fried. I just make it in appe pan. Then there's granola, which I make at home. Then you can see this bhaji or the mirchi bhaji. Again, it's stuffed bhaji, and there is no oil in that because the oil is coming directly from the groundnut, which you use to make it. So it's just the way how you make your food. And this baigan, again, I have just used. Usually, people will put so much oil. So here, all you need is just half a spoon of oil. So becoming oil free is a very good concept, but initially I have to transition somebody who has been so much heavy on oil to this stage. Now a person like me would be eating something like a dal absolutely without oil. That is completely possible. Once in a while you're eating all these stuff, so you're not depriving basically. And yeah, you can see I do eat pizza, samosa, and mini cake, and this one is cake, this is burger. So everything is in my list. It's just that the way how I eat is has changed, and the recipes which I make has changed. And then you start enjoying. Now even when you go out, like today only we went to travel, so there will be some prep which I will do, and I will go with that food, so that we just don't go and consume anything and everything blindly. And then you will become more and more conscious about what exactly you are eating. So you start making choices, because anything that you're putting in your body, it will accept and it will give you the same reaction. So it's like, every action has a uh, back reaction. So if you put wrong food in your body, it will show some reaction. So start putting better food and slowly keep moving, and it will really help you. So yeah, so fried food can be made in air fryer. I made matri and all that in that, and all this can be made. So it's very easy. It's just the way how you make food should be changed. Any diet tips that could help problems like IBS? So now people who are on IBS, they have to completely go on a alkaline diet, which is basically a diet of drinking, starting their day from ashgod juice, then simple soups and khichdi. Slowly they have to change. Now you have got IBS because the whole gut, the colon, gut bacteria are not existing. So we have to take time for it to thrive back. So my mother-in-law, in fact, had this problem, and slowly she's recovering. It takes time. This problem would take time, but yeah, the food which she was not able to eat because of her IBS, slowly she is consuming. Let's take, I tell her that she'll say I can't eat millets, which I know it's a grain which, if you don't have good digestion, system or the energy in your body, you would not be able to. So start with very small amounts, like just maybe 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoon, and slowly body will start becoming used to it. It will take time, but you have to continue on that, and your gut bacteria has to come back, and that's how you will be able to solve it. What is your take on consuming ghee daily? How much? So I'm a vegan, I don't take that. And all I can do is, if I really feel like taking this, I will put, there's vegan ghee also. Otherwise I'm perfectly fine without that. And or you smear a little bit of coconut oil just to give that taste. And then my food is rich in good fat. So good fat is basically, if I'm making a dal, I might put few groundnuts. Now, groundnut comes from, like, the groundnut oil is actually coming from groundnut, right? So instead of, and groundnut oil is actually processed. You grind all the groundnuts and then remove all the good nutrients and get that 100% fat in a bottle which you are consuming. So instead of that groundnut oil, you just put those groundnuts directly. You're getting good fat as well as you're getting fiber and nutrient of groundnuts. So that's how you start changing the recipe. So ghee we are consuming for the, the whole concept around ghee is because it has good fat, and by the way, it has saturated fat because it's coming from an animal. And so I will consume cashews, avocados, they are good in fat, and almonds, all the dry fruits, all the nuts basically, and all the seeds have good amount of fat, which is unsaturated fat. So it's actually good for your skin, good for your heart, everything. So that's the reason I consume that instead of taking ghee. And so I don't consume ghee, paneer, doodh, makhan, and what else? Egg. Non-veg I never took. So yeah, these are like the restricted things in my diet. Any specific food combination are bad for your health? Now see, a simple thing is, like, if you cannot digest, even the best food is bad for you. So you have to find what food will not suit you. For example, for me, cucumber is the best thing to eat every afternoon because it's soothing. But few people cannot digest cucumber because they do not have gut bacteria in their system to digest that food. So a specific food has to be monitored based on your condition, and based on the chronic problem, or based on your lifestyle. Basically it is on your health that will define. So in whole food plant-based lifestyle, we really don't work on a way how Ayurveda works, of doshas and all, because following that is very very complicated. You will have all three doshas in different quantity, and and following it is very complicated in today's lifestyle. So for me, it's simple things. If I eat a certain food and I feel that it's not getting digested, or I'm just feeling little bloated, see, you have to listen to your body. It gives you hint. You are eating something and you get a headache, or you're eating something and you feel gassy, or you feel pukish, or it just starts reflecting on your face or in your body somehow, then you know that it's not good for you. And that's how you start making changes. Because counting every time, it's very very difficult, especially if people have problem. They should keep a food journal or a diary that will help them to understand that. But as per whole food plant based lifestyle, we don't consider any combination as such bad. We consume things, we experiment on ourselves, because each body is different. What suits me will not suit you. So a very beautiful thing which I was seeing, like when I'm handling two diabetic patients, one of them was showing very good result with that specific diet, and the other person was not able to. And I was trying to find what is exact reason why she is not able to, why her sugar level is not coming down, and what's the reason. Finally it was just not food. Can you believe? It was that she was taking hot water bath, and after immediately after this water bath, her sugar level used to spike up. So then I had to change the therapy, and I said, please stop doing that, and change her therapy to put a wet pack on her, and take bath if she wants to from lukewarm water, and put wet pack everywhere wherever she's getting body aches and all. And then the levels have started coming normal. So food combination, your therapies, everything will work together to solve your problem. So in whole food plant based lifestyle, we really don't define any combination bad. We just have to monitor ourselves and see that if what is working for you and what is not working for you. And beautiful, colorful plates, and so much food. Often we relate healthy eating to less eating. No, healthy eating is not about less eating. If you're eating less, then you're starving yourself and you're depriving your body. Moment your body is deprived of the nutrient, it will crave more. And if it is craving for something, it will, your mind will always relate to the food which you have been eating. So suppose you have been too much on oily food, your body and your mind will crave for that, and then you go in that cycle. So healthy eating is not about eating less, or it's not about eating boring salad. Let me tell you, in my house there is a salad always a part of meal, but we eat a Indian thali. Now Indian thali, if you put lettuce and all those fancy American greens, they will not mix nicely with the Indian thali that you are eating. So you have to find something which can go with this food. Whereas when we eat just a salad bowl, then yes, you have all these kind of fancy greens which are coming from US. So you have to build a cuisine basically around that. You can't just put rice and then put lettuce and then put few of the other things which are like rocket leaves and all those. The combination will just not go, and you will start hating that food. Food is something which you should be using for nourishing your soul, and making your senses happy. They should be delightful when you're eating this kind of food. Otherwise you will crave, and after 10 days you will just go back eating what you have been eating. So KukClean, that's why, believes in sustainable lifestyle, and sustainable means you can follow it for a very long time. And also it involves family. Now the whole family is eating all those things, and you are sitting on that same table, and you feel that you're deprived. So now what I work on is, while I'm changing you, I also try to change the whole family, not by telling them anything, but by your actions. Suppose you have this roti. Let's take roti which you make. Now when you are making a roti, you just make it plain white roti. Whereas if you keep adding different type of vegetable every single day, one day your roti will be white, one day it will be red, one day it will be green, and then you are adding something else, and the taste will always be different. Now when your roti is so interesting, the family which is sitting and eating with you, they would also be interested to just take one bite. And if they take one bite, you're already successful. Next day they will demand for it. So KukClean actually focuses on a sustainable lifestyle where the whole family comes together, because you cannot sustain that lifestyle for a very long time if you have to cook two meals, one for you and one for family. You will stop that. So the slow change will happen. Now my daughter eats that same brown rice, and she actually doesn't like white rice. So once in a while if she wants to eat, I'm perfectly fine, but most of the days we are focusing on that red rice which we get. My dals would be having these peel, that is the skin of the dal would be there. The dal will definitely have one green and one vegetable going in it. Then there will be a vegetable sabzi or the curry, and then there will be a simple onion, tomato, cucumber salad. I don't have to make that salad, fancy salad every day, but if it's a salad meal, then yes, there will be chickpeas, there will be beans, and there's a difference. I can't put that chickpeas salad with my methi paratha and the typical sabzi which we make. So that combination has to really work well. What is an appe pan? So appe pan is basically paniyaram pan. Let me just share. You can see my screen, right? So let me just show you. how it looks. This is small. Yeah, this is the pan which making you can make any vada or anything in this beautifully. So yeah, this is how it looks. Yeah, it's available on Amazon. Got it. I used to. Yeah, okay. What to do for tadka for dal if you don't use oil? Did you mean you? So you can, again, it's a journey. Okay. So now for tadka, just think the logic behind why do you need oil. You need oil because when you put oil and then you put your this the jeera or this mustard seed to splutter, and the leaves to splutter, or the red chili to splutter, right? So that it becomes little roasted, and then you can put. So now if you are right now putting, suppose, 1 tablespoon of oil, try to put just 1 drop of oil, and in that only try to put your jeera. It will splutter in that also, and then you put all the other things and you put it in your dal. The flavor will be exactly the same because you need that tadka for the roasting of these spices. And on a cast iron kadhai or any of this cast iron thing, it actually beautifully splutters and you can put it in your dal. So dal can be actually made without oil because you're putting so many vegetable and greens in that. You will not see any difference because you have put oil in that, or you have not put oil in that. Now if you're putting tadka from top, it is absolutely possible to make that tadka without putting oil. And suppose if you want to make, you want to put that tadka of pyaz and tomato and this green chili. So if you put your, first you put your jeera, wait for 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, 2 minutes is a big time, they'll burn out. Just 30 seconds, it will start crackling and it will start spluttering and moving out. Then you put your onion and just keep shaking it. Onion will release its oil, its oil, and it will start becoming caramelized. Keep roasting it, and then you put your tomato. Now tomato has enough water that it will start becoming mushy. And finally this whole tadka with your green chili and your curry patta, you put everything together and you put this tadka in your dal. You cannot make any difference. So you start from using less oil, and then finally you can go actually on an oil free tadka. No oil is good, as such, because again, eating a coconut is better than coconut oil. But he would have changed. It's not just coconut oil that has reversed his cholesterol. He would have also worked on lifestyle. One food cannot be the reason for reversing any disease. Just like how your diabetes cannot be cured if you don't eat sugar, it has impact. If, like, fine, you're not eating sugar, that's a good thing, but just by not eating sugar doesn't guarantee that you will reverse your diabetes. Similarly, if you are eating coconut oil, your cholesterol is going to come out. Frying itself is wrong. And and oils as such are just the extracted, processed, derived food from the original source. A coconut is much better than a coconut oil. Mustard seeds are much better than mustard oil. Groundnuts are much better than the groundnut oil, because when you're using them, you will not use this much. Groundnut, you only use this much, right? If you're putting it in the sabzi. Whereas if you are given a coconut groundnut oil, you can use as much as you want. So nature has given these things so beautifully that you cannot use in excess, and that's how the balancing comes. When we eat coconut oil, we are actually consuming a lot. In fact, coconut oil is the only oil which has saturated fat in plants oil. The palm oil and coconut oil, these are the only two oils which are saturated, other are not. So I'm not sure how that worked, but frying is not allowed, number one. And try to go in a lifestyle where you can reduce this frying. And second, it's you have to change your lifestyle. It's not just one food that can reverse. Just like one food was not the reason for cholesterol, can you blame one food that okay, because I ate this I got cholesterol, or because I ate this I got diabetes? So if one food is not the reason for causing a disease, how can one food be the reason for reversing it? So I will always give you a question to think about it, and it has an answer in itself. Is onion garlic good for health? I don't see them as harmful. Yeah, few people might not be able to digest, and a few religions do not believe in onion and garlic. Otherwise, it's just a plant based food, you can consume it. So good or bad, anything comes good, it becomes good and bad based on the number of processing which you are doing on it. Let's take onion. Okay, now if you're eating that raw onion with your roti, that is much better than when you're making a onion pakoda or you're making those onion rings. So that onion is bad, whereas when you're eating raw onion, it is beautiful. People eat garlic just to cure their BP, and they just eat consume pods of garlic. These are beautiful herbs, or garlic and all the herbs which are there to give you nice flavor and taste. So just consume them as how mother nature is giving you. Don't experiment on it too much. So yeah, so this is now, you mentioned body dosha. One of my tunga hai hyper anger, does food plays any part? So I'm not the right person to talk about doshas because I have not done any course on Ayurveda. But yeah, I just do read here and there, and that's how I know this term. But now, anger, irritation, and acne problem, all this, yes, it is definitely related to food, because that's one of the major part that is going in your body and deciding things in your body. So all these things will, the food really plays part in that. But how much can I relate to dosha, that I would not be the right person to answer, because I have not done a course on Ayurveda, and I don't have a complete knowledge on that aspect. So food does play, like I said, that this is my last video, I'll play it for you guys after some time, that how it really changed me, how following a vegan lifestyle changed me. And my anxiety, frustration, irritation, everybody gets that. There is stress, there are so many emotions flowing, but when you start changing your food, a lot of things do change in that. Yeah, so I think I have completed all the questions now. Anything else it's left, so just let me know. We are we started at 6:30, now it's 7:30. So let me know if you have more questions, or you can just drop me on my ID and I can help you then. If you're interested for the program, then you can let me know, then we'll help together, then we'll be for with each other for 3 months of time. And yeah, we can walk on this journey. And yeah, let me just play this video which I shot today. Maybe that will help. World Vegan Day. Hi, my name is Kirti, and today on World Vegan Day, I would like to share a few things which I have experienced after turning to vegan or following this whole food plant-based lifestyle. So, in recent years, when I started switching my lifestyle from a vegetarian diet to this vegan diet, the first impact or the first change which I felt was, of course, my weight loss. I lost around 25 kg, 27 kgs of weight, and it was just such a nice feeling for me. But I didn't realize that time that there is a lot more to experience and there's a lot more to come. So after that weight loss which happened, the second thing which was happening in me was a healing process. I could see all those problems like headache, constipation, and everyday tiredness, fatigue, irritation. all that started vanishing. I started becoming more and more calm, and there were joy in every small thing. There was happiness in every subtle thing, and that I was experiencing, but I was not really noticing it. The real notice started coming just a year back, or rather during this COVID time, when I could experience that, there is so much pressure, there is so much uncertainty, and everybody was struggling, not just with your job or but basic household thing. And it could break down a lot of families. It was breaking lot of people. But I could see a beautiful change in me, which was very, very subtle. And things were calming, things were slowing down. And it was a very, very nice experience to be. And then I realized that, I'm becoming more conscious about what I'm eating, how I'm reacting to a situation, what emotions are coming. Not that the emotions have gone, not that I don't feel upset about things, not that there is no stress, but every time when it happens, I can, literally visualize myself that the things are happening. And when you become more conscious about these things that are happening to you, you know how to react to them. So walking on this beautiful journey of veganism, following this whole food plant-based lifestyle had changed me slowly, from my weight to my health, and then finally it's working on my mind. So give a try. I'm not here to tell you to convert and become vegan and start following it. All I just want to say is give a try. Like you give try to everything. You want to try new cuisines. You want to try, new lifestyle. So this is a beautiful new lifestyle. Give a try. If you need a helping hand, I'm always there. KukClean is always there. And you will experience a lot of beautiful things. So with that note, I'm very excited to be here, which is actually my family farm. And it's so beautiful to be on a place like this on such a nice day. So see you guys yet till I share something else about my life and how it has moved. Hi. Yeah, so this video I just shot some like today, and yeah, so it's, as I said, in my last statement, it's not always food, it's not always mind. Don't blame one thing. It's about everything, and everything has to change slowly. Of course, the food plays major part, and that's why we focus so much on that. And then while we are focusing, we get so much engrossed in these jargons of protein, carb, and fats, and calcium, and all these things which have come. Just imagine, just 2 generations back were our grannies talking about that. They never talked about all this. All they knew was, okay, have a ragi laddu and go out and play. They never thought that ragi has calcium, so I should give it to my kids. No, they just ate food, a beautiful thali which they could make with their own hands and just give their child. That's it. And that's how life was simple. Like a very unfortunate part. Like I really want to, talk about that. In India, there used to be Eastern toilets, right? Nobody talks about that. And that was the reason you never had constipation. You never had osteoporosis problem. Now we sit on commode because I read somewhere, it says from 1920s we are helping people to think better. No, from 1920s you are making people more and more miserable because the motion is not clear and they are suffering from osteoporosis. So most of the things which have been built for our comfort are actually causing problems to us. So if you look at my house, we are literally on floor most of the time. We have all the low seating, so that by the time we turn 70 we don't have to go for knee replacement, because it's not just 1 hour or 15 minutes of yoga. Whole day your knees should be bending and moving. And if you sit on the floor, they are already bending. And if you sit on the floor and eat food while you are bending, you are actually bending, you are compressing your stomach, so the stomach will not eat. more. You don't have to do portion control. The body will tell you that how much do you need. I just feel sometimes sorry that how can somebody sitting all, from such a far off place tells me that you need 1200 calories when you don't know what is my culture, what is my lifestyle, how many times I run in a house and what work I am doing. So how can somebody decide that a woman needs 1200 calories or whatever? I really don't know how much calorie I need, and a man should eat this much calorie. Why do I depend? Why do I have to depend on them when my body can tell me how much calories I need or how much energy I need? So I would rather depend on this intellectual computer which is being made by God, rather than somebody telling me that this is what you have to eat and this is what you have to do. The body will, you just have to listen. We listen to everyone else except our body. So start listening to it. It will give you all the answers. Thank you, guys. It was nice. You have asked quite a lot of questions. And yeah, we'll be in touch. And if you have more questions, you can
Thank
always reach out to me.
you. Kirti, I have one question, one little one.
Yeah.
I was going through your profile and I came to know you are a computer science graduate,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why, in this age, when computer science is a rage, why did you change? Like, what led you to
To
from?
change, yeah, so I am a computer science grad, and I worked with IBM. Then I went to US for 2 years. I was staying in Jersey. I was working as a basically data specialist there, and then I came back. Then I was a manager at AIG. I was basically a training manager, and finally when my daughter was born, that's when I realized that things were not working as the way I want, because I was overweight and I had preeclampsia. She was a preterm baby, and there were a lot of complications in my pregnancy, and that's when I realized that this has to change. I cannot depend on medicines for all the things, and I was so high on medicines during my pregnancy. So that's when I started reading, and then the first desire was like, once the baby is out, you want to lose weight. So that was the motivation that, okay, in 6 months, because I've been seeing these, okay, lose weight in 6 months. When I started doing that, I realized it's not happening in 6 months, and all this is just ads which they show. And because if you keep exercising and you don't change your food, you're never going to lose weight. Finally, first year, when she was like, when I celebrated her first year, I just lost some 5 kg with all that exercise and everything. And that's when, and all these problems were not going. But then I started finding more and more and more, and met a lot of people, did a lot of courses, understood a lot of things, and then it started changing. So that's how now I just thought that whatever I have learned over the years, all these recipes are not from today. We have been making, I kept clicking pictures, and finally it just came out as passion, that this is what I should be doing. And moreover, I think I love talking to people. I'm more like a people person, and even do without like I'm doing my nutrition courses, but still I'm yet to do a lot of courses on emotional health. But life has taught me so many experiences that I can make my client pull out all the three things within 3 sessions. So that's like the third session which I conduct is on emotions, and that is the underlying cause. People do come to me saying that I have food problems and it doesn't solve, and I have a thyroid problem and it's because of the food. And but end of the day, it's not food, it's your emotions which are lying somewhere, and I just pull it out. And that's when you cry in front of somebody who is not going to judge you, and that's when your journey starts. So it's a healing process. So you need to heal. People will judge you, maybe your friends, your family, but a person like me would not judge, because I'm that helping hand who is here to help you out. So I'm not going to judge you. So you need to bring out those emotions. Once they are out, you start you start healing yourself. I'm not doing anything, I just help you to hold your hand, and you walk on that journey. So yeah, that's how I love doing this. So this is more like my passion, and that's how I landed up doing all this.
No, it's so great because sometimes we are stuck in a job that many of us like we don't like it that much, and we have a passion. They can be a scared to take that first step towards that passion and start
Yeah,
something new. So for
yeah,
me, that's an inspiration because you did exactly
yeah.
from
So
moving
I
from
think
computer science to this one, and you are enjoying it, which is I think.
yeah, so I think that is one, because I want to take risk, and two, because I have a strong support system also. Like my husband has a good job. भाई घर भी चलाना है ना किसी को. So till I have to establish this whole thing, uh, and so both the factors play a role. Now, if I don't have that risk taking capacity, because running an entrepreneurial life is a very very depressing life till you're not famous. And I have like I failed actually in my first startup, and I would not say that I failed, because that was an experience that gave me an experience to run a startup, and I learned that I can earn 1 rupee. And so yeah, there were a lot of moments, there were a lot of times that I always wanted to go back to my job, because it was paying me every single 31st of the month, and it was a huge salary. And from that salary to going on zero and then finally not doing anything was very very scary. But yeah, then my husband was always there to push and to support and say that yeah, you can do it. And then it was like, okay, keep doing something or the other. And major thing for me was that I wanted to take break for my daughter. So that was the time when that was mentally prepared that I will not join the job till she is 5 or 6 and she can manage on her own. And within these years I found something which I enjoy. So yeah, now it's like going in that direction.
Thank you so much. And
Yeah,
girls, I think we learned a lot today.
cool. So how much do my courses cost? So I run this session, which is of 3 months program, because I feel that these 3 months, 3 months is what you need to change your habit in a sustainable way. And then for like I will take individual counseling with each person, where I will conduct 9 sessions, where first I will explain what the food is all about, the concepts basically, and then the practical tips, then share all the recipes which I have developed with the ebooks and which you can make. And then I'm constantly holding the hand in through WhatsApp. Like for next 3 months, if you are working with me, I need to monitor what you are eating. So every single meal that you are eating, I will watch that. You have to send me click the picture and send it to me, what grocery shopping you are doing. You have to show that to me. And that's how I monitor, like keep a close eye on you and keep helping you. Whenever you make mistake, you just tell me so that I can again mold you. And for every course like this 3 months course, I charge 12,000 rupees, which is yeah 12,000 Indian rupees. And basically I need to convert it into dollar, which you guys can convert. So this is what for 3 months is what I charge. So now there can be two things. Like if you guys are doing it in a group, then it would be better, because you all will be motivating each other. And I would be cleaning all the concepts of everyone. And yeah, the recipes which will be going out, all of you can try. So that can also be one of the possibility. Otherwise, usually I will do this individual counseling is based on everyone's preference and problem which the person is facing. For example, somebody who is diabetic. Now initial few sessions are basically clean eating sessions, so where I will explain the general concept, and it applies to every human being. But then slowly there will be one session which is specific to one person. For example, the emotions that you can't discuss in open, so I would be dealing with each one of you to understand your emotions. And then whoever has that particular problem, then that problem would be addressed for each person. So that's how we can schedule the whole thing. And yeah, everyone's plate will be different and everybody's situation is different. So that's how we can make a change. So if group are there, then discounts, okay, I usually don't work on that because it's basically I'm just doing out of passion. But yeah, if I get if I around if 10 of you are joining, like 10 people, then it makes for me to explain things better. And I can do sessions, full sessions, and then I would charge something around 10.5K per person. So that is what I can do if 10 of you are joining my sessions from now. And yeah, so few sessions will be around 7 sessions would be common, but the rest 2 sessions would be, one is this personal and one is based on your problem, would be something which I would be taking one on one, because everybody has a different problem. So I need to address each one's problem in like one by one. Okay. So yeah, it was lovely meeting you guys. Now it's 8 o'clock, my dinner time,
Yeah.
and see you. You can reach out to me whenever you guys want.
So thank you so much, Kirti.
Okay,
We
thank you.
really enjoyed. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Yeah, bye.
Very informative. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, Kirti. Really loved it. Learned a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
So how was it? It was good, right?
Wonderful, Chitrag. You are a magic master.
Uh,
Great.
yeah.
It was really
But
good.
you all came. That was
Very much, Chitra.
whole house.
Amazing.
I was confused about the time change too. So I came a bit late. I saw the messages. I thought it'll be 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I saw Mona and Sandhya discussing. Like it should be, it is like 9. I woke up early. I was like, no, it's at 8 o'clock.
But you recorded the session. I was a little late. So,
But you did.
okay, great.
Sandhya is mute.
Thank
No,
you,
no,
Chitra,
what I
once
was
again.
saying was
We
that
love you.
people
Chitra,
were
you can stop the recording now.
Oh,